The reality is that everything was actually something before it became everything, or everything has always had the cause effect relation basically impending or inevitably or inseparably connected to it in one way or another, and everything also has a cause. Everything has a cause, a reason for which it spirals into one effect or produces several effects upon effect in one way or another. And also that everyone was once a beginner. Everyone once started doing things, and then they, through practice, hard work, time, dedication, discipline, became an intermediate, and from an intermediate, they inevitably became experts in their respective fields and categories and subjects of knowledge in one or another. But the reality and the truth of the matter again is that everyone was once a beginner without first beginning. Without beginning and without having done well in the first, we cannot necessarily become successful, neither can we become relevant, nor can we become accomplished, admirable, respectable by ourselves as well as by the others. Not because the others are hypocritical, selfish, one sided, but because we have not done enough work on ourselves, because we have not achieved enough self work, self knowledge, self evaluation within ourselves and understood our actions, behaviors, habits. We have not made much rectification to our mistakes, improvements to our problems, and basically amends to our behavioral flaws, conflicts, and we have not sought enough basically reforms to our own double standards and overthinkings and many other problems as well in one or another, which we regularly suffer from in our lives. So definitely the reality is that whoever eventually becomes great obviously was once a beginner. They began first, because without beginning, without having begun, neither can we progress, nor can we become successful, nor actualize any ambitions at all whatsoever. That is the thing we to try to understand, that everything comes from the beginning. Although everything does not necessarily exist in reality, because everything is dynamic and ever expanding and ever extending itself in both positive and negative directions at the same time. But then again, every artist was first amateur, and because they were amateurs, because they were beginners, they could become intermediates and eventually experts in one or another. That is the thing we to try to understand, that we need to continue to try and make progress as much as we can and in as many directions as we can, and eventually certain things become possible, even if not everything, because everything does not happen in accordance